The old Volkswagen might not rattle when it drove down the highway, but it still bounced. The last pothole had nearly driven Brigid's fangs through her lip. "Mother of divine Jesus, will you please slow down?" She glanced at her mate, who was hunched over the wheel of the old van, his back arched because he had to duck his head. "Carwyn, we need a new—" "No." He didn't even let her finish. "I love this car." "You may have love for this car, but this car does not have love for you, my darling man." Brigid looked over her shoulder at Lee Whitehorn, their new chief of information security, who was sitting in the far back of the Volkswagen camper with the table folded out and his computer resting on it. "Lee, don't you think we need a new vehicle?" "Switzerland." Brigid frowned. "What does that mean?" "I'm Switzerland back here. It's your car. I do not have an opinion as long as it has Wi-Fi." "Are you still working?" "No, I'm gaming." Brigid had no idea how to speak to the man at times. It was as if he lived in an entirely different world. She didn't speak code or gaming, and she had no idea what Discord was or why he liked it. It sounded stressful by the name alone. "Oh my Christ, I'm becoming a crusty old vamp," she muttered. Carwyn glanced at her with a smile. "Join the club, darling girl." She might be a crusty old vampire, but his attachment to the 1974 customized van was completely illogical. He barely fit in it. The windows had to be blacked out during the day. Sleeping in the thing was cramped for Brigid, which meant it had to be suffocating for her gargantuan mate. "I've heard tell they're making an electric Hummer thing now," she said. "It's quite large, and friendly toward the planet." Lee piped up. "Electric cars are the way to go for humans, but you'd short the whole thing out in 5 seconds, and it'd be a brick, Brigid." She turned and glared at him. "So now you have an opinion?" He wasn't wrong, of course. As a vampire who drew energy from the element of fire, Brigid was particularly sparky. All vampires lived with natural electricity, of course. A current of energy ran beneath their skin that many called omnis. It enlivened them. It allowed them to manipulate their body heat and even manipulate humans. It also shorted out almost all modern electronic equipment. "You guys should get an old camper," Lee said, "like a 70s-era Winnebago or something. You could bring that out and have more room." "See?" Brigid pointed at him. "Lee thinks the van is too small." "Betrayer!" Carwyn yelled. "I thought you loved this van, Lee." "I do." The man closed his computer. "I can't play when you guys are yelling." The man had been manipulated, abused, and stalked by one of their own kind, and Brigid sometimes forgot to tread carefully. "Apologies, Lee. We're not truly fighting or being aggressive, and I'm sorry we've made you feel uncomfortable." Lee raised an eyebrow. "I just meant that you're loud and your accents get stronger when you're pissed off." She blinked. "Oh, right." "But I do love this car, which is why you need a bigger camper, so then you can sell it to me." He gave her a toothy grin. "See? I'm conniving, not traumatized." Carwyn peered in the rearview mirror, and the corner of his mouth turned up. "Indeed you are." "Lee, could you do an internet search for classic Winnebagos?" She turned to Carwyn. "Did I say that right? Winnebago?" "You did, but I make no promises." He patted the wheel of the van. "Lucille and I have bonded." In fact, Lucille had just received a bright new paint job that was the color of the turquoise blue stone common in the American Southwest. It was, she had to admit, ridiculously pretty, but that didn't mean she was wrong. "I'm sure you'd bond with a fancy restored Winnebago too." "Winnebago," Lee said. "Aye, that's what I meant."